just adjust the coffee. Okay. So this is the track I was working on 2 days ago. I did a bit more, as you could maybe hear. What did I do? I think, yeah, I had some of the parts over there, if I remember correctly. Also, didn't really make mixing, but just adjusted a bit of the drums, especially on this part. I resampled and duplicated with different effects the drum loop. So on this part, for example, you can hear I have this sort of modification of it. I have another one like this. Another one like this. And another one like this. And the idea behind it is first to create some arrangements around the breaks and stuff like that on the section, as you could hear. And then what I did is using a global macro. I then went inside, I should have a tool here. Oh yeah, no, this one is centered. And what I do is basically all of those tracks have a tool on it, and then they're panned left, right, with different degrees, let's say. And what I did is over there, on this part, I just automated this. So basically, when it's on the left, everything is in the center. And then when I push this, it's spreading the 4 tracks on the stereo width. So there you go. What did I do more? If that's a sentence. I think, yeah, I added some violins on this section over there. I duplicated this section, which was only one. Now it's 2, so I can reinforce with basically all the melodies we had before and the orchestra and everything just on the last part of the last drop to make it simple. What did I do? Yeah, I think the piano wasn't there. This is not a piano, actually. I'm mistaking. This is some sort of flute for the end. Very basic, but I like the wind that you can hear, and it fits pretty well with the other 2. What I also did on this section, and this is sort of the small mixing tricks you can do, even though it's very basic, obviously. But what I did there is this synth, when it's playing, is an octave up compared to the original melody. So it sounds, high fundamental is at above 200 Hertz. And when I go back to the first melody, which is way below, with the fundamental at around 80, something like that. So it's way warmer and what's the word? A bit muffled in a way compared to this, which is really bright with high notes and stuff like that. So the flute, I had to follow this. So what I did over there is, like, again, really basic. I took some low pass, and as soon as the new chords come, which, as I said, are I think 2 octaves lower, if I'm not mistaken, I low passed a lot of the top information on the flute, so that it makes really this closing effect on the atmosphere. Let me show you. This is bright and this is muffled, as you can see over here. It's not a lot, because you don't really need a lot. It's just to reinforce the frequency balance from this drop on the chords over the flute. And then everything is low passed. The basic stuff again. What I'm gonna try to do is maybe find a way to make some intro. So let's see. What if we just take those chords? That's the so those come, for example, like low passed. I think it should be around there. Is it here? Yeah, it's not there. Yeah, it's the filter over here. Okay, cool. So I should have an automation for that, which is over there. I need to add it, so I don't have to look for it every time. Let me bring the map a bit over there. Let's go something like that, for example, and up, bringing it down. And I think what could be interesting, I don't want to load cardinal because it might get messy pretty fast. I think I'm just gonna load, let's see, what was this one again? Okay, it's basically FX, like textures and stuff, so why not take this one and bring it really low. Okay, and what we could do is maybe try to get it a bit more, I'm gonna say random again, but yeah, see the point. So what if we take, for example, let's go with round, even though I think it might be a bit too big for that. Let's go with the grounded. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is, this is looping this 4-bit section all around, so what I'm gonna do is just reducing it half, and it's gonna do the same on all the lines. So we should just have some random stuff like that, so why not? Let's see. We could also took, for example, VC2A and squash it a bit more for getting the lows, because lows could be interesting. It's really quiet. I don't take the lows, so I'm gonna go above 200. Let's go with another track. I'm gonna load the sampler. I'm gonna grab some of the freebies Foley sample from Cymatics, I think it was. Any Foley would do the trick. I'm just gonna load it in there. Should be easier. So if I go to my samples, and let's see, do I have got some beach ambience Foley? Let's see, what if we load some ocean noises and then do the trick we did earlier, I mean in the past days, which is get it some randomness over there, make it bipolar, sort of fluid, and not that much bipolar, let's say. And I'm going to sing this and get this on the play position start. So let's see, we want to start something over there, and what do we have if I just get those notes over here? Okay, so it's the ocean for sure. Let's go with textures, and again let's do some sort of a granular synthesis. Let me just clean the screen. Yep. And let's see. Okay. Let's go 2 octaves down. Where is it? Maybe because I wasn't playing, actually. So let's use the motion instead, and bigger grains. And I have some more simple and old views. So we don't slide in the sample, we just go to different places. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this feature of Bitwig, which is voice stacking. So basically it's duplicating let's say it like that, even though it's not 100% accurate. It's duplicating this sampler and creating sort of instances of it. And for each instances, sorry, I'm gonna get the stack spread, which represent every voice, so 5 of them. And you can see over there what it's gonna do. It's gonna take for the first voice value -1, -0.5, 0, 0.5, and 1. So it's spreading it between -1 and +1, which means that if I use this to modulate over there, every voice is the first voice is gonna be like at position 0. I should also move this a bit. So the first one is gonna be, let's say, over there, second one over there, third one over there, fourth and fifth. So each one is gonna play a different portion of the sample. So let's bring the volume down now. And you can visualize this over there. Still a bit noisy. I'm really interested in trying to find some low mid texture, low mid atmosphere, just as a filler. Hello Equalize, how you doing, man? Hello Ark Forest, how are you? Good to have you there. So this should go along with this. So there, if we use some convolution, yeah, I heard you guys talking about Schoenberg. I think it was yesterday, right? I don't know the guy though. But yeah, feel free to post some stuff of him on the Discord, you know, just to see. It's always good to learn. And yes, that's Bitwig. That's Bitwig. Yeah. Bitwig, Ark Forest, Bitwig. I think I'm gonna duplicate Quanta over here, delete this one and delete this one, so that I have a new fresh instance that I can mess with without disrupting this. So what I want to do over here is to get, I think, guitar rig. Maybe it's gonna open. Yep. And inside of guitar rig, I'm gonna go through the delays. I'm gonna take one of my favorite and crash. Okay, cool. So let's reload everything. That's a great introduction to Bitwig. So let's get back here. Did it kept it? No, of course not. Is it gonna crash again? No, that's good. Let's revert that, and yeah, let's put watch it 12 semitones up. I want this to be pretty slow as a rate, and yeah, let's keep it with 50 for now, and let's see. Yeah, exactly. Another adjustable pitch delay, exactly. Yeah, that's why I love this one actually. This and the fact that you can put the delay buffer in reverse. So as you can see, everything is in reverse mode right now. Normal. Maybe not the best source to hear the difference, but yeah, it makes fun. Let's copy this and paste it over there. I'm gonna do another batch. This one is gonna be only 20%. The idea behind it is we're using some sort of a ocean sample over there, and the fact of using a pitch delay like this is you can also simulate, let's say simulate the roll of the waves, you know, so it's pretty interesting in my opinion to do so. I think this one was the softer, so what I could do is create an audio track, punch this one in, let's put the color back to gray just because, and let's see, I have okay, so I could use this. As it's pretty soft, and I may filter it a bit. Let's wait for this one to come. Of course, I'm soloing, so we're not gonna hear it. Let's see. Is the bass melody sound just a violin or a string patch, or just some PWM based synth? Do you talk about this? Is it this one? Because if it is, if I remember correctly, yeah, it's using granular on some part of the melody I had over there. Yeah, this is the one I think. I reused this melody to inside a quantizer. So it's quantizer, sorry, inside a Quanta, which is a granular synthesizer. So basically doing over Quanta something really similar to what I was doing there. And yeah, it just gives this. And if you add, like, if you hear it dry, it's just taking part of the sample. Yeah, just like that. Maybe I could punch the envelope a bit more on the release side. Something, yeah, like this. I think it's too much, but it's okay. And then we're making the wavy stuff, some reverb, a little bit of compression on over 200 Hertz, and yeah, we have this. I'm realizing maybe both of you don't know the song. This is one I started, I think it was a week ago, and I continued it 2 days ago on stream, so here it is. Just realized I did cut the mic so that you guys could hear the song, so I was talking alone again. Shows the power, yeah, exactly. Adjustable pitch delay can really helps a lot, create, textures that fit the sound, because not the sound but the general atmosphere of the track, just because you're basically taking one of the synths you already made, and you're just punching it an octave up, and or two maybe, and depending on what you're gonna do on this result, you're just having the same frequency response, let's say, but punched up. So you're just filling the gap in the frequency response with something that is really similar to what you already hear. So it's a nice trick to just fill the spectrum with the elements you get before, and it sort of make it coherent, if that makes sense. If I remember correctly, you have a background in metal drumming, so I'm wondering how you would translate, how do you play drums on the kit onto making a track like this, if you do. Yes, I do, actually. I mean, maybe not in a very conscious manner, but for example, this section, I think it's over there, yep. All those little arrangements that's coming over there, I think they're mostly influenced by obviously FX Twin, Venetian Snare, Swell Pusher, even Echo Plane or stuff like that, and on the very glitchy and transient aspect of this. But this is definitely something. I have my drum kit. I had a roll-on, so with black pads and stuff like that. And what I did is I converted my whole acoustic drum with mesh heads, so now it's making any noise, no noise at all. But what I want to do in the near future, hopefully, depends on the money, is to get the triggers for those, so I have some sort of a acoustic drum that is actually electronic and that I can send MIDI to my computer, and so I'll be able to record again, stuff like that. But what I used to do for a while was to just create layers of takes. I would do sometimes on just like 2 or 3 pads, just some basic rhythm, paradiddles and stuff like that. And send the MIDI to it and use this on battery or any drum machine plugin, VST, stuff like that. So I don't know if it's answering your question. Electronic compatible acoustic mesh heads. Yes, in a way. I mean, the mesh heads don't produce any noise by themselves, and that's the whole goal of it, because even though we don't have direct neighbors anymore, so it's a plus for sure, but still like having acoustic mesh on mesh head, sorry, on what am I saying? What's the word in English? In French we call that peau, which is basically skin. I think it must be head also. Okay, cool. But yeah, they don't produce any noise by themselves, but all you have to do is buy some triggers and put them on top of it, so that you basically pick the hit on the mesh as a signal, as a trigger signal, and you can then via the box get the signal converted to MIDI and then send to the computer, and that's how I recorded drums for most of the songs you guys know. I stopped doing it like a couple years ago, maybe more, because we were in a building that was like playing the drums were creating a lot of vibrations and stuff, so I was messing with everybody in the building, so I stopped doing that. But yeah, for example, over there, all those arrangements from there. That's, yeah, basically some stuff I would re-record with drums, so that we have this, basically everything right now is coming from one sample, so you shouldn't have phase issues and stuff like that, but it might be a bit dull though compared to what I used to do before. Yeah, you have the same issue with noise and neighbors. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be that complicated, I think. What I would love to do someday is to be able to make shows with some sort of band, ideally an orchestra too, but at least a band, so I could be on the drums and other people could like start things, like play the basses and the pads and stuff like that, with guitars. It would be, I think it would be fun. But yeah. I just realized I should also do something over there. One of the good things of Bitwig, I can do this actually, because I'm not sure I want the kick to be directly influencing, send it to the reverb. So I'm gonna take the kick, and every time the kick is gonna play, I'm gonna punch down the reverb. Let's boost that. Yeah, I want the kick drum to stay solid. It's pretty subtle, but makes a difference. Just to showcase you, this is width. It keeps the kick in the center, and I think it keeps also the punch of it, so that's good. Let's see. Should also say there is no mixing done at this point. Just trying to bring things closely to a level and just get a general idea of how it's gonna sound, but I didn't do any mixing, so yeah, just something to keep in mind. Hello Atrox, Last Dance, welcome. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. thanks, Ark. The only thing I did was some small automation. I think it's on the orchestra, just to make it a bit more humanized. I had a few, cutoff and stuff like that, but I didn't spend time making a real deep mix as you would do in later stages. Right now, I really just want to focus on the sound. I mean, on the IDs. That makes sense. So if we go back to this. I'm 26. I wanted to get into making music. This is very much some music I would love to make. Have you got a YouTube that you cover going from start to finish from something like this? I'm wondering. I don't think I made YouTube videos especially about this. The only thing I'm trying to do right now is to have those 3 streams a week so that you can see actually the process. So some of those streams, hopefully all of them, will end up on YouTube so that you can watch this. But I'm not sure I have especially made something like this. So that's interesting. That's something I should try to explore. But if you want to start, depends on do you have like some musical background? Did you play an instrument when you were younger or stuff like that? Because it would be a big step forward to try to start things like that, I think. You were a big inspiration for me in my teens. Thank you very much, man. I've shown a lot of people learn your music. Thank you so much. And they say it's different, but they love it. I think that's the best compliment I could get. Orbit. I think it was the one for the charity collection, right? Or am I mistaking? Yeah, maybe mistaking. As I said in previous streams, I hardly remember the name of the tracks. So if I hear the track, it's gonna be instantaneous. I'm gonna say, oh yeah, this one. But the title, I struggle with. I think over the 13, 14 years, I released something like, if you include the free tracks and everything, I think about 150 tracks, something like that. So I tend to forget most of them. If I remember correctly, you also have a background in violin and I assume string sections of orchestra. That is correct. Actually, my violin is right there. You can see it because it's below the table, but yeah, it's over there. And yeah, I've been a violinist for 10 years, something like that. Started when I was 5 and then went to guitar and battery and drum, and other instruments. But yeah, I started as a violinist. And does that experience make orchestrating harmonic layers much easier for different sounds? I have experience with piano playing and orchestra trombone myself. Yes, it does a lot. And to be honest, I think this might be the main reason I always want to put string sections on everything. Especially like, see, even on this track you have some orchestra behind. So yeah, it's definitely an influence for sure. And I think it sort of educates your ear to hear those harmonies, because that's something you pick up growing up, and the fact of playing in orchestras and stuff like that. This is definitely something that grows with you and stayed with you when you grow up. So yeah, it definitely had a big influence, for sure. Don't show all your secrets. I'm not sure I really have secrets. No, I don't think of techniques that I use that are really specific to me. I don't think so. Obviously, your personal preferences are gonna influence a lot. The sound design choices you do, the way you approach music evolution, arrangements and stuff like that. But I think the canvas of it is quite standard, if that makes sense. You played a little bit of piano and guitar, but this was 15 years ago. Yeah, but you still have a musical education. I mean, I think this is gonna help you a lot if you want to start projects in this. Just because, as I said, it's the younger you start learning those principles, and the younger you start to educate your ears and mind to this, the easier it's gonna be for you to try at least. Very basic composition, just because you know when a note is right in context or not, and you also know how the subdivisions work. You also know the basics of time signature, even, for example, basic arrangement structures. So you can definitely have this sort of let's say feeling about things that I think is a very important plus to have if you want to make something like serious about it. What does savvy mean? Honestly, if someone is savvy enough, they'd figure it out by listening. I don't understand savvy. Sorry, French moment. It's a space-inspired song. Sounds like you exactly doing that. Yeah. So most of the tracks I attempt to create the sort of spacey atmospheres. I love the feeling of travel you can generate with such atmospheres. It's yeah, it's really interesting. I think I got hooked from first hearing either Pandemonium or a Satellite remix. Yeah, the Satellite remix was really fun. That was really one of the ones I loved the most at the time. So yeah, I mean, more than 10 years. Wow. Thank you all. It's quite, well, I'm sort of amazed by people staying this long, especially when I had such no release breaks. Hello, Rapes. Welcome. Looking out the window of a spaceship in orbit of a country. Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm not sure I would enjoy zero G, but this is a vision I would love to have. Can I link our bit and see if you remember it? Yeah, try. I'm not sure the chat is gonna accept some links, HTML links, but yeah, right after I can actually. You know what? Let me just check it. this is my reminder of where to put the strings in panning. Let's see. Come on there. So if I go ARKASIA orbit, do I have? Yeah, I have the video already. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah. Damn. Some big issues with the mixing. Yeah, this one is a fun one, for sure. Yeah. I forgot about it, but yeah, it was a fun one. Monsters, 5 drops. Really? Is there 5 inside? Yeah. I don't remember that. Monster was actually the first track that was signed. I think it was on a British label. And the first version I sent, Monsters, was the first dubstep track I did at the time. I just discovered dubstep and I was like, hey, let's try. And the first version I sent, they told me like, can you work it a little more? I mean, I think they were talking about the structure and stuff, so I worked it a bit more. So, but 5 drops. I don't remember that it was that much. I believe you though. Thank you, Atrox, a lot. Please don't be offended if I don't answer too much to compliments. I just never learn how to take a compliment, so thank you. That's all I can say. Okay, too much compliments in the chat. I need to work again. I'm just gonna get emotional if I don't. So let's see. And you want to learn? Let me know if you have any questions. I think I can showcase to you, or yeah, if there are things in music making that you know don't make sense at the moment, feel free to ask anything. I'll just show you what I can. So. Wow, that's quite an accurate description, Ark. Thank you, man. With the rhythm there. Yeah, we don't hear it that much, so maybe I could try to reinforce it. Oh wait, did I? Yeah, I think I messed something up. I just took it without really making any care. So let's see. Is there a soft one? Yeah, too much delay on this. Yeah, maybe those two could work together. I'm just a bit worried about face constellation. No, we're good. I mean, yeah. We are mostly okay. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. We need the end of it. Okay, yeah, I think I want this one time. This over there. And we are going to start a bit down again and go up over here. So let's see. I also need some sort of this. Something like this over there. And I think I have my snares away. This is the kick. This is the kick. This is not what I want. I want the... Oops. Yep, this is the one I want. Okay. Should be quite... raw, but just to get an idea of the timing of everything, I'm just gonna go something about here. Actually, Arc Forest, you're joking about it, but I'm French, and when I was younger, if I didn't do something like 45 minutes to an hour of violin, my father wouldn't let me eat dinner. So I get the joke, but it's not that far from reality. When I said there was no mixing at all, that's why this place is so permanently there. So what I'm gonna do is just so that we don't clip too much at the end. I'm just gonna make some quick fix. Let's see, so it's from there, it's issues over there, so I'm just gonna pinch it down. Maybe an hour should be enough. Succulent Chinese meat. Okay. I'm a bit worried of what I'm gonna find out, but okay. Let's see. This guy, yeah. Yeah. I never knew he was yeah, I knew about the guy. I didn't know he was a meme now. Yeah. Oopsie. So few things that were not good. Over here. I think it could be interesting. Let's see, on this part or the other one. try to get some sort of a subby, let's say, explosion, but it's not really gonna be an explosion, but some impact. So I wanna go with a sine wave. I think would be cleaner for start, and then this pretty fast. Let's go on the pitch, about 2 octaves should be good. And let's see, 49. So here, I want to play C3, for example. C1. I forgot that it was key tracked. Okay. I want this to be an envelope. Okay, yeah, let's pick the right note. It's always a good thing to do. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with the harmonic series, just so that I can use this envelope just to bring a bit punch and a bit more punch. Okay. Let's make a real long envelope. Of course, it's way too loud, but we're just getting started. I wanna get the same sort of envelope. Actually, I think I should be able to copy that. Am I? I thought I was. Seems like I'm not. Maybe here. No? Yeah, it works on those ones, not on the envelopes. So I'm gonna do this here. Something like that. And then softly push the knob. Still gonna filter a bit more, because I think I already have the kick hitting over there, so I'm gonna go here, get tool, and use kick to just keep the initial attack of the kick. It's sitting in the same region, so you want it to be you want the kick to be the main element on the mix, on the hit especially. So the kick is gonna just duck the sub of this effect over here, just so that we don't have too much information in the low end and it doesn't push all the master chain too much. So let's get the kick, duck the volume, make the transient a really good transient, and then push this so we have a nice envelope. And there, the kick is back in front. And it's not colliding with this. Now, what we need to do over here is to get some delay, for example. Just keep the high section of the noise. We're gonna make it a bit slower. Go to ping pong, for example. Have this one being dotted and the other one not. So we create this sort of difference between the left and the right speaker. So basically we create stereo doing this. And I'm gonna load the reverb, and I think it might be interesting to get some phaser slowly moving on this, just to get some modulation. The chorus might be a bit much, but let's see. What if we put it just a bit? Okay, we have good stereo on the noise. It could be interesting to get a bit of modulation on the general tone, so just to have some sort of a boost over here. I want it to be bipolar, and it should turn around 1K, should be good. Yeah, so we have this sort of wash, but I want it to be real slow again. And now we have some nice movement. What I can also do is use the stereo knob, which is going to do exactly what I said before. That means one of those dots moving is for the left speaker, the other one is for the right speaker. So it's basically gonna duplicate this EQ boost, this peak boost. And for the left and the right here, it's gonna be on different sections at different times. So we should have a bit more of a stereo movement. Which makes it a bit more interesting. And let's saturate this a bit so we have a bit more volume also. Okay. And we also use this to bring some harmonics on the sub back, because we're just using sine wave, so it's basically one harmonic. So getting some saturation. Right now we are soft clipping, so we are just gonna bring back some harmonics from this sine wave. The delay is not on the sub. I see you. No, the delay is not on the sub. The delay is actually filtered so that it only affects its, I don't know, there is not the hertz value over there. So sub is over there, so we should have this starting curve around 350, 500 hertz at least, maybe higher. So if I solo the delay, I need to solo this also, you can hear like the sub is not touched by the delay. It's not touched by the chorus. It might be a bit touched over here by the phaser, but as I said, it's a sine wave, so you only have, if you watch this, for example, if you watch this on the analyzer, so this is the harmonic from the impact, from the pitch raise we do with this one. But the sustain of it, where did my analyzer? Yeah, it's over there. The sustain of it is just this harmonic over here. I'm playing the sharp one, so basically 38.5 hertz, 39 hertz, something like that. And the delay and the chorus is gonna start from here. So the sub is not touched, because you don't want to do those phasing issue, as you said. So, I mean, sometimes it works well, but you have to be really careful with that. So yeah. Also, what I would like to do is, for example, bounce this, then normalize, and let's see, we have, why is it so delayed? Okay, that's weird, never mind. I'm just gonna cut something about there, and I think I have to go to clip, yeah, so that I can reverse it, and it's gonna create this sort of a suction. I don't know if it's the right word. I hope I didn't say something weird. We have some sub in it, so we're gonna use fab filter in linear mode because we are gonna do some high passing, and we don't want to change the phase so much. And use the bitwigs clip volume automation you can have on clips, which is awesome. But I think it's on all of those, but I don't know. It's cool to have this. That's what I wanted to say. So let's see if now I put this in a group, I can work on this independently. Why is it starting late? Oh yeah. I know why. Because I kept my delay full. That's why. Sure it's necessary, but because we're going really soft on everything, don't want to create too much of a yeah, I want to make it softer, so I'm gonna bounce this in place. It's like freezing in Ableton, and delete this, and what I want to do is to get this and maybe pitch it down so we don't get so much into the high frequencies. Okay, and then I'm gonna bounce this once again, go over here again. I need to delete the low information from this, maybe bring back a bit of this, and we're going to bounce it, delete this, just to have some sort of a softer impact after the climb, or it's gonna be weird. Also, I'm wondering what if I take those two, duplicate it, put it way back on the side, and see, my cutoff is low. I don't want this, and I'm gonna just bounce both of them can be quiet, and I'm gonna load a sampler. Put this in here and make it quiet too, even though it's way out of bounds. Just so that we can have, for example, let's see. Let's start from the beginning and see what it does. I want slow attack, some release, and long decay, no sustain. And I'm gonna play this in reverse. Pick again a random. Even though I'm not sure I'm gonna use it now, but just good thing to have it on the side. Let's create a clip. I'm sorry if I'm not too much looking at the chat right now. Just want to try things while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Gonna have 4 of those, make it quieter. Gonna go to texture and make the speed half. Get some longer grains, a bit of motion, and randomize for every note the starting point. Gonna make sure it's gonna loop, and for example on this section, create a bit of a fade. Bit of a fade, please. It's over here. Did I forget how to make fades? I might have, yeah. Don't tell anyone. Is it because I'm using this? No. Is there a shortcut? Okay. I may be dumb then. I thought it was working with every loops. Is it because I'm playing reverse? Okay, my memory is playing tricks on me, so it's okay. Let's go with this for now. Something like that, a bit more open. Okay, I need to launch this on every note with a very slow rate, so I'm sure it's just a note triggering the randomness. And let's definitely not what I wanted. I want to generate more extreme values and yeah, keep it straight, like simple and hold. Let's go. Okay, I'm just gonna keep very high and use, let's see, the plus, why not? Yeah. I can actually use the filters over there, and I'm gonna put the mix way up and keep as much high as I can, duck a little bit, and more feedback. Okay. Now I want to grab tool, grab an LFO, make it a bit slower, something like that, and use this to modulate the pan a bit, just to create those sort of lush high frequency detail. Rise in volume over there. I'm gonna keep 0 after, but I just want to push like 6 dBs should be enough. Let me get back quickly to the chat. Oh, I need to climb. Yeah, I need to climb a bit. Do you use other orchestral instruments like horn, oboe, timpani, and harp in your music? I think that could add extra dimensions to it. Absolutely, yeah. Depending on the timbre I'm looking for. I love to use, in French we call that the cuivre, so it should, I think it's the winds in an orchestral formation. Is that working in English? I don't know. Composition, but not in the writing sense of the name, just the ensemble. I use horns, trombones, tubas a lot. Oboe, it depends. Sometimes what I love to do, like for example on many tracks, I think Orbit was one of them, but I'm not sure, so I don't wanna say, you know, dumb shit. But what I do a lot of the time is I use orchestral instruments or acoustic instruments, and I layer those with synths, so that we have, you know, both characteristic of playing together. What I did for quite a while before the dubstep and stuff like that was trying to emulate as much as possible with synthesizers the result you could have with acoustic instruments in terms of frequency response and stuff like that. So layering both, I think, from what I did in the past 10 years, is something interesting in the sense that it creates a gap between both worlds, and I think it helps to relate a bit more to the instruments, if that makes sense. Yeah, vital. Making art style, that's a good question. I did a lot of Gaber hardcore, sort of very experimental hardcore music, around 220 to 230 BPM at the time, with a friend of mine, Striker, which you should definitely check if you like this type of terror and stuff like that music, because it's really good. But art style on itself, I'm not sure. I like when it's a bit rough in a way, or especially it's more about tempo. I think to me, I like high tempos in this type of more extreme music. That's why I love metal. Phase issue makes music better. I think I saw this one already. How do you generally musically design noise sweeps and basically atmospheric effect sounds? I'm not the best with those myself. Something that is quite helpful in this sort of synthesis, not synthesis, but production of instruments. I don't know the right term. I'm sorry. Is noise, actually. If you hear a lot of the movement you have in dance music, in dubstep also, but sometimes you always have those whooshy sounds. Most of them basically are in noise that are like the same way I did there. It's white noise. Most of the time you can also use pink if you want, but the low frequency information is less relevant when you have all of the elements in the foreground already. So you really want to focus on something that is higher than, for say, 700, 800 hertz. And you want to have this sort of sweeping effect with just the boost of an EQ, like I did on there, yeah. So as I said, in this case, I just have a sub because I want some sort of low frequency impact to stay, to stay and disappear a bit after the impact. But the main work is made by the white noise, which is default in Vital there. And what I did is just create some phase differences using chorus, and then the phaser is there to sort of create gaps and peaks that are moving, and so creating this emphasis of certain frequencies, because white noise is going to be filled, so you want to sort of create peaks and increases in this so that the listener can actually detect those change of frequencies, and then some delay, some reverb to create the space. And then when I did exactly the same with an EQ, just to emphasize part of the spectrum, and the distortion, the soft clipping is just there as saturation to bring everything back up and sort of glue it. But the main trick is white noise and EQs, creases, EQ peaks, not that dramatic, but just enough so that you can actually hear the difference when you put an LFO on it and it's sweeping left and right in the spectrum. Yeah, this would be the main base, and then I think it's, you know, like when you're cooking, it's everything depending taste. So, but this is sort of the basic of most of the sweeps and sort of background atmosphere you're gonna hear in a lot of tracks. It's not really not that complicated. And the good thing about it is, as you're using noise, even though it's, as I said, it's made with creases and peaks in it, it's still a material that is filled with frequency. So if you put that behind your music, it's gonna almost fill the gaps, and it's gonna help push the perceived loudness a bit up, especially it's gonna help control, in my opinion, the highest part of the spectrum. And it's also very useful to give your mix some sort of depth, some three-dimensional depth, just because you have like, for example, in dubstep and drum and bass, you're gonna have your bass, your drums that are gonna be up front. I like to keep my bass just a little bit behind, because I have so much synth playing melodies and things like that on top. But usually what you're gonna do, if you're like rhythm and stuff like that, you're gonna have your bass and your drums really up front. And what you want to do is create something that is behind and helping filling the gaps, so that the listener is gonna detect those changes in volume as depth, if that makes sense. I'm not sure I'm using the right words in English to express it, but I hope you see the idea. The stream seems to be delayed for me. Finally back, I may have missed a few minutes. Oh, sorry about that, man. I hope you're synced now. Do you like Debussy and Ravel? Yes. I think I would put Debussy over Ravel, and I would put Fauré above both of them, in my opinion, for the French composers. Maybe because I'm a violinist, so I played Fauré a bit more, I think, than the other two. But I'm more of a I like a bit more German music and East music, like can I remember the names apart from the main ones, like of course Bach, Schubert. I'm trying to remember the name of some Russian guys, and Czechy guys, but my memory. But yeah, I would put Debussy above Ravel, in my opinion. Just my taste. Where can I listen to those hardcore tracks? Good question. I'm pretty sure you can find some of the projects we had with Striker, which is called the Anthropod. I'm gonna type it inside of the chat. You might be able to still find some tracks like Polakatek or stuff like that somewhere on the internet. Extreme music égale good. Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. Welcome back, Atrox. Hello, Scotty. Welcome. I don't know why you were thanking me, but thank you for being there. The chorus, the father, how to make the noise sound more interesting. Imagine how that would sound with the randomized LFO. Yeah, that's that's basically it, the chorus and the feather. As I said, the chorus, see the chorus as a multiplier. Basically, it's gonna take the sources you send inside it. Maybe I can open Vital to show you in the same way. So it's taking the source and it's creating the number of voices from this parameter. and it's gonna spread it, as you can see over there. Each line is a voice, so it's gonna spread it and sort of move it in the between the left and the right speaker. So basically it's gonna create phase cancellation and stuff like that. And as the noise is really like filled, this is why I didn't put that much, because I don't want to hear this sort of phasing. I really just want to hear some sweep, not some bzzz. I don't want to bzzz it, I just want to shwit it, if that makes sense. So this is why the chorus over there is quite light. And yeah, the phaser is just to create this sort of, as I said, peaks and creaks, and the fact that they are moving, as you can see over on my cursor, is just helping to create this sort of illusion and movement. Again, one is on the left speaker, the other one is on the right speaker, so it's going to create a stereo movement. And same for the delays. The reverb is sort of there to make everything in the same space. Then we sweep this space to emphasize part of the spectrum on the left and right speaker also differently. So we reinforced the stereo effect, and then yeah, the saturation to bring glue to everything. And yeah, on the randomized LFO part, it depends really. Like, let's see, let's test it. Like if we duplicate it and then we get some, we need to freeze that so we don't have a sine movement. I'm gonna freeze both of them. We're gonna go random and move the center. Bipolar, and I want to sync it. Should I make it stereo? I think it should be stereo already, but let's see if I come back here. Yeah. It's less predictable, so it depends on what you want to do, but that's definitely something you can experiment with. The idea behind this is, as it's I mean, you probably want to use this as a filler, so you don't want really to focus the attention of it. So it's, in my opinion, it's better to keep it sort of slowly moving and make it consistent in the movement, because if it's moving a bit too much, it's gonna focus the attention on it, and it's a background element, so you really want it to help bring the foreground even more up front and give space between this and the noise. And if you focus too much attention on the background, it's sort of, yeah, see what I mean? It's making the foreground less important, if that makes sense. I'm really struggling to express those concepts in English. It's quite hard, I have to admit, because I don't want to, get you on the wrong path. So let me keep up with the chat. Chat is really, really filled today. That's a good exercise to me, because I need to take this into perspective. You're doing quite well. I can fill in the gaps where your English might not be that great. Yeah, that's good. If you can do that, that's way better for you. I think the stream issues were on my side. Okay, cool. Let me just check. Yeah, I didn't lost any package since the stream started, so unfortunately, I guess you're right. I'd definitely put WC over Ravel personally because of my piano background. Yeah, for sure. For is a good shout. I might have a G's. What is a G's? Sorry, French moment again. My favorite German composer is Wagner. Yeah, for sure. I think what I love with the German folks, composers and stuff like that. Yeah, Rachmaninoff and Tchaikovsky. That was the two I was looking for. Thank you very much. Especially as a non-pianist, Tchaikovsky is over Rachmaninoff to me. I'm not sure I know Dvorak from name. I'm pretty sure I heard some of his composition, but sometimes I struggle with names. And yeah, Wagner. Yeah, so I was saying what I love about German composers is so much intimate and darker than French composers, for example. Then yeah, I tend to go with this side of the spectrum. Strauss, Weber, Brahms. Yeah, Brahms also Strauss. Yeah, Johann Strauss was quite the guy too. There is so many. Yeah, exactly. By the way, have you ever thought or considered a collab with Anima Drop? Yeah, I think we talked about it a while ago, and then sort of had so much struggles for the past years. Then I might have. I think we started something, and then I just forgot about it just because it was so with the health issue and stuff like that. It was I didn't really have the mind and time to do this, but I would like it would be really fun, I think, to merge all of this. Oh, I know a course in further works. Oh, sorry, I should have watched the chat before. Is Tchaikovsky 1812 overture played a lot in France? That's a very good question. I don't know. Let me just check the music itself. There was something about there. Which track is this again? I think I played that as a kid, yeah. Not the full part though, but yeah, the beginning is familiar for sure. Giz is Australian for having a look. Okay, thanks. I learn words. It's a good thing. Gesamtkunstwerk concept is very inspiring. So Werk is work. What is the traduction of it? Let's research this. L'œuvre d'art totale au Gesamtkunstwerk est animée par une volonté totalisante qui se réalise à travers l'union des arts dans le désir de refléter l'unité de la vie. Wow. Ok. Oh, okay. That's something that defined by Wagner. Okay, I understand a bit. Yeah. German romantism. Le temps de talent extraordinaire. Je trouve croisement plusieurs mouvements artistiques, ainsi que l'autorisme du fondement futur examiné, ainsi que la naissance d'abstraction, il explique l'aboutissement de sa gestation et de son étendue, en passant par la musique, le théâtre et le cinéma d'avant-garde. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so basically making if I get this correctly, it's like using every medium on a artistic line, let's say. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. It's quite inherent to what we do today, I guess, because most of the time artists who release music also make videos and shows and stuff like that. So I guess, yeah, it's sort of what we have, right? Or am I mistaken? I thought your collab with Anima Drop was so fire that you both couldn't handle it. Yeah, maybe that was it. No, I think it's mainly on me because of the personal issues I had. Okay, because I think having a G's, even though it's not written like this, sounds really different to the American ear. But maybe I'm pronunciating it wrong. But means more of having a look in a greater context. Okay, that's a good... I like the term. What if we get back to music a bit? So, let's punch it from the beginning. Just gonna save it. So it's having a geese. Is that right? I agree. I wish I'd be able someday, yeah. Even though it seems like every animal or insect in Australia wants to kill you. I would love to travel there someday. Maybe. Fingers crossed. truly the word of an Australian guy, because for a French person, this is not the only thing, the only animals I think about. I mean, consider the spiders, for example, that are like 5 or 10 times the size of those we have here. Just an example. And again, I was talking into the mic, but the mic was muted. And I did cut the mic again. Okay, I think I know where it's coming from. When I press space when I want to start the playing of stuff, if I'm still in OBS, it's just muting the mic, so that's something I need to keep in mind. I'm just going to use G-Clip to slightly bring those peaks a bit down. Yeah. Something like this should be alright. Oh no, I know that size don't matter for the spiders. That's exactly what I was talking about. It's like I don't know. So many insects, to my knowledge, in Australia are lethal. Then, like even the tiniest fucking 8-legged insect can just bite you and you die. So yeah, it's a bit worrying. At least to someone who didn't grow up there. Really thinking about doubling this one. Let's loop this section, for example. Let's see. Yeah, it's taking pretty high. It's taking from 600 to 5k. So I think I would like to have something a bit lower, playing the same thing just to feel a bit more this part. So let's see, what can I use? Let's go with Vital again, as always. Let's try it simple for now. Something about there. And then I want to take everything from filter 1 and be sure that it doesn't go above like 200 or stuff like that. Let's see. Okay. Let's make another one, and this one I want it to be some sort of a square. Okay, and now I'm gonna just side it a bit where this. We put this and get it inside of side, open lamp. I think I might go condenser for those. And I would like something with not too much speakers. Something like that. Let's see now. Whoop, what did I do? I duplicated, okay. Okay, let's see, can I feel the top part of the spectrum a bit more? This is my orchestra, right? Yeah. Sounds a bit better, a bit more full to my ear. Let's see. What 5-meter wide web stretched between my fence and a tree. Holy fuck. Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought about how similar modern dubstep basses sounds to distorted guitar. I think it was a bit more true like 10 years ago, because now it's I don't know. If I'm really honest, I felt way more connected with dubstep like 10 years ago because of the variety we had in the first place, and then the I'm trying to find the right words. What I've been struggling with in modern dubstep is the fact that they tend to really, like, all the tracks, because they need to be mixed in events and stuff, sort of sound the same in the sound design and stuff like that, because so many people want to sound like this or like this artist or like this artist. Everybody tends to sound the same now, and yeah, I think it was a really nice time 10 years ago for creativity and innovation in this domain. But I agree that, for example, as a metalhead who loved hardcore music, electronic music and stuff like that, dubstep was sort of a perfect middle ground for me, because you could have this sort of 140 BPM tempo that is accessible for a lot of people, and yet still get something really complex and heavy, because of the subdivisions you can do, but also because of this 1/3 beat, which gives you a lot of space in between, and a lot of time for the bass and the sub to really develop, if that makes sense, compared to high tempo music. So, but fundamentally, I definitely agree. They're really, I think a lot of metalheads get into dubstep and vice versa. That harp now sounds more meaty. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. To say it. I found that sometimes it's sorry, I'm not finding my words. It's more effective to have. Okay, let me get that again. On Discord, I think it was yesterday. I think it was Kumuzo who was asking if I could like give mixing advice and stuff like that. And I think one of the first thing you should think about, and it's gonna make the mixing stage after that way easier, and it's gonna make your music sound way fuller, is that you should really think about the octave you're playing each element in. Because, for example, if I bring back my analyzer, see, if I play the part as we had before, you can see that the main range of the synth is quite high. It's filling the gap pretty good over here. But because it is so, the fundamental is sort of ducked, because I'm more interested in the texture we have here, because other instruments are taking this place now. If I want to reinforce this, I need to make the fundamental, so the octave lower, apparent. So now if I bring the other one, it pushes my fundamental back. You could really like do this on the same synth, just ducking with an EQ shell, for example, the fundamental of it, and then bringing it back. What I like with layering instruments like that is by having another instrument playing an octave lower, you sort of feel that it's the same instrument, that it's only one instrument, but it's not. See what I mean? And it creates way more information and nuances to the sound, which in return makes it sound fuller, if that makes sense. So yeah, I was thinking about the beginning again. try to fill this a bit more, so I'm gonna duplicate my impact stuff, but I'm not gonna keep the impact. I'm just gonna keep like a part of the noise sweeping, so something about here. Wait, I don't know. My keyboard is making weird stuff sometimes. Okay, so I want to keep, for example, something like this. I need to avoid clipping over here. I mean, not clipping, just clicks. So I want it to be faded instead of cutting it at the zero crossing part. And now what I want to do is to have this duplicated and make some sort of a transition. Oh, sorry about that. The transition between the two. And same. There you go. There you go. Just so it sounds consistent. And whoop, I selected too many of them. So then I want it to fade out because I'm gonna use this to fill the gap, and then boom, the explosion, and then the noise, and then okay. So if I print this now, I mean not print it, but just consolidate it like this, I can do some sort of a rise up like this. I need this, if I'm not mistaken. Oops, that was a mistake. I'm gonna print those two. Bounce, yes. Okay, and then come here. I need to cut that because I already have the fill over here. I can delete those two. Then join everything, consolidate, and then have a long sweep of volume again. It's not there, clearly. it's a bit more interesting, but now you can hear that the bass is sort of crappy. Yeah. Yeah, I think the issue is the bass itself, so just gonna mute it for now. And there, a bit too much mid-range to me, so gonna go with a bell, and it should be about there. And I'm gonna take an LFO, make it a bit slower, and then sweep this region over here nicely. Not too much. To also, yeah, I should have done it the other way around, so it's okay. Let's delete this. Now this is gonna be a tuple, and keep it around there for now. Emphasize the 2K a bit. And on this, I'm gonna take the bell and do what I was doing right now, right before. So there, modulate this a bit, and bring it around 500, 450, something like that. Way too much for now. I'm working on staying minimalistic. It's a struggle. Yeah, way too soon, way too soon. Quickly, I just want to scale this one 200, and let's see. I love the parallel. Let's see, will it work? I'm not sure though. Let's push this down. Just to bring just a bit more movement at the end. Cannot finish with this note. I don't think it's necessary to have this. Does it kind of washed it a bit too much, and then I really want to hear those notes in the middle. piano, I'm not even sure I layered this. I think it's just basic contact over there. Oop, that's my orchestra, never mind. Oh yeah, I did do some layering. I did do some layering, but actually this is just Maverick. I just closed the lid, so this. Soften the tone of it, so we get a bit more a soft dynamic, basically. I didn't use a reverb on this. I think I sent it to a bus. Nope, I just got the raw. I just got the raw stuff. I just animated the pedal. Sorry, and for those who don't know a piano, you have a pedal on this instrument that allows you to. It's basically replacing you holding the notes, if that makes sense. So basically, you put the pedal down, you press a lot of notes, take your fingers out, and it's gonna keep the notes ringing until you left the pedal. So this is what I'm automating over there. And what I do on the piano is actually, I have this strum MIDI effect. I think, yeah, it's a note effect, but clear. It's sort of a, yeah, it's just, okay, let's not go into details too much. It's an effect you use so that you send note into it and it's gonna alter those notes. So the strum module, what it does, it takes a chord and it's doing like what you would do on a guitar. Basically, it's strumming the chords in a certain way. So to hear the difference, this is without the strum. Playing the chords straight, not really humanized or anything. And if I put the strum in, it creates this very human thing to do. So yeah. The funny thing about the piano pedal is you can simulate it just by stretching the MIDI longer. Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can do so. If you have the option, I would say it's easier to use the pedal modulation than pushing the notes longer. For, I would say, two reasons. The first one is readability of your MIDI composition writing, if that makes sense. This. And the other is that there are, how do I say this? Sorry if I'm taking time. I'm just really trying to find the right way to say this. I'm gonna try to think about it while doing stuff, because I don't find the right way to express it with the little vocabulary I have. So I'm gonna try to find a way to sort this. But yeah, the main thing is to me readability, and this other thing I cannot find a way to express. So another thing I did with the piano is use, if you don't record the piano itself, Google Translate always work. Yeah, that's true. I should try this. Yes, reusability of the media is a factor for sure, because this is something Midi-Pyrénées, that's a region in France. What I do a lot is exactly what you said, using, like, for example, I would try to find some chords that fits together, and then use those chords on different instruments, and then had some inversion and stuff like that specific to some instruments to complete, to not complete, but to open the range of notes that are played, exactly for the same principle I talked before. Is if you spread your notes through multiple octaves depending on the instruments you want. You can also do this with only like one synth. It's not really the issue. Well, I think it's a bit more interesting to combine, like, for say 1 or 2 octave for an instrument, while 1 or 2 octave for another one. It's a bit excessive, obviously. It's just to express the concept of it. But the idea is to spread. The more you spread between octaves and instruments, the more rich your sound is going to be, and the more the easier the mixing stage is going to be. Because the issue I had a long time ago, like, for example, on the Evolution album and stuff like that, or even after this, I had like a simulated complete orchestras, but with massive synthesizer. Not massive because they are big, just it's the name of the synth. And what I tend to do at the time was to emulate with 2 or between 2 and 5 massive the violin section, and then I had another group of massive to emulate the cellos, the violas, and the basses and stuff like that. And then same for massive is still goated. The second one is a bit, I don't know. It's less intuitive, I guess, maybe because I was so used to the first one, but the engine is really nice on the 2.0. But yeah, what I tend to do at the time was to simulate an orchestra only with massive patches that I made at the time, and having all of those working together was really dependent on the way you would basically orchestrate or write a composition for an orchestra. If you think about it, one section of the violin is going to play one thing. That's 3 or 4 minimum musician playing one thing, and then the other is gonna, like, for example, if you take a chord, the chord of, let's say you have 5 notes in your chord, you're gonna have the basses play the lower note, the cellos and violas playing those that are a bit above, and then the violins playing the higher octaves, just because of the nature of the instrument. So if you think about this concept, like how an orchestra works and the way it is spread through different instruments and stuff like that. Why, for example, flutes are gonna play some lead parts because just the range of the flute is gonna help distinguish it from the rest, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm going to overboard on this, but if you think about this concept like this, if you want to do, of course, this sort of music, you definitely have to correlate that with your spectrum in order to have something balanced. Because if too many of your instruments are playing the same notes in the same octaves, their fundamental is going to be basically at the same spot. So you're going to have peaks that are predominant and that are basically, it's going to be a struggle for you when you're going to mix it at the end, and it's going to block you to get to a point where you get your mix really loud and clean without squashing everything inside a limiter or anything, or a clipper or whatever you use. But just the fact of spreading the even if it's one chord through different, spreading the notes of this chord through different instruments and then through different octaves is gonna really change a lot of things. Like, don't take my word for it. Just test it. Take one of the projects you already have. If you want to try to get this sort of a very massive and very filled, powerful orchestral sound, this sort of wall of sound approach to your music. If you want to do this, you really need to think about this: how to spread the notes, how to use those octaves to avoid any complications on the later stages. It's gonna make your music way more clean and easy to listen to, because every element is gonna be playing its own thing, but they're all gonna play together, if that makes sense. Do you use side microsecond delay as a way to create more stereo space in your mixes? Yes, it depends on the material. I mean, the S effect is a good way to effectively create some stereo image, for sure. What you have to understand is, like, to create some sort of audio wideness, what you have to do is basically have both speakers playing different things, if you see what I mean. Like, for example, if you listen to metal, even though both guitar may have the same amp, the same effect on it, the same cabinet, the same miking, the same room, the fact that they're not exactly timed, as you said, it's sort of the ass effect, but the material is different. So if you hardpan two things, even though they're basically recorded in the same condition with the same guitar and stuff like that, if you record two takes of the same thing, you're always gonna have timing differences, and those timing differences are gonna create the stereo wideness, if that makes sense. So what I tend to do, instead of using this sort of delaying, which is sort of moving like the it's such a struggle when you try to go deep into subjects and it's not your native language. What I tend to do is play more with, as I showed you before, like those sort of information that are typical to the left side and information that are typical to the right side. Like when I when I showed you like the filter sweep and stuff like that, the fact that each speaker is doing something different is gonna create the whiteness, and you don't have to change to put out of phase even slightly some of what you do. I'm so afraid of conveying the wrong idea and concept just because of a translation error. Instead of, let's go this way. Instead of yeah, you understand. Okay, cool. Because yeah, it's quite a struggle. But yeah, instead of playing with delays and stuff like that, which could cause some issues depending on the context, especially on your mid channel, like the mono signal, basically the sum of both speakers. If you want to keep something it's exhausting. Sorry. I'm pretty sure if it's exhausting for me, it must be like double this for you. Yeah. Anyway, try having like different sources, pan, hard pan, left or right, and I think you might enjoy the result a bit more than just delaying the side from the mid. That's just my opinion, but in terms of arrangement and creativity, I think it opens it opens more doors to think about it this way than just delaying. But again, it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to keep your instrumentation really minimalistic, like having a few elements, and those elements trying to take the more space you can with those, you can use different techniques. Like what I'm doing right now is you can use sends with very short reverbs, and then those sends are you just lower or cancel the volume of the mid channel, so that every element you have in the mid channel from your original composition is gonna be duplicated, and it's gonna create this sort of binaural effect, which is comparable, of course, to the S effect, obviously, but you're gonna have this this sort of mono-compatible signal in the mid, and then everything you need to send to the side, you can use those sends to just place elements on the side and give them a bit more space in the mix, if that makes sense. I apologize. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. I combine sign delay with pan and even phase inversion for that. Be very be very aware and of your phase correlation if you do so, because you might do something that is basically gonna, when you play with inverting the polarity of something, phase cancellation can be really fun, especially like, for example, when you do Reese basses and stuff like that. The core concept of a Reese bass is having this sort of cancellation. This is what is gonna create the movement and stuff. But you can way too much easily ruin your mix just because of the phase correlation of the whole mix. Obviously, sometimes when you listen in solo and you do these things, even if it's in a group in solo, you might get into a path that is gonna screw up the whole thing. So if you do those things, always check in context and always try to A/B everything just to be sure. And for example, I bought plugin from Noisia actually. They worked with I think it's Excite Audio. I cannot recommend this enough. Vision 4X. If you wanna go into music production and stuff, you should definitely check this. And yeah, this is basically the phase correlation meter, and when you play your song, you really want everything to keep in the 0+1 range. I'm not gonna get into details, too much into details on why, but if you want your speakers to translate everything sort of correctly, you really need to be aware that your mix is going into this range. It's, yeah. I don't know if it's the easiest way to say it. I hope it's not too much confusing, but yeah. Yeah, and it sounds behind your head because it is in the -1-0 range, etc. So just be sure. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be sure to check the sum of your mix, and be sure the correlation is still good with all this inversion you do, because it's always a question of context, if that makes sense. So what is important is just to be sure that down the chain the result has a good correlation. That's all that matters. Like you can find a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff like that of people saying like don't if you do this your mixes suck, you're not a pro, if you don't do this, if you don't do this, if you don't do this. There are really like a few core concepts that are really important, and no matter what you do, if it sounds good and your master bus is coherent, and when I say coherent, I mean what we just talked, the correlation, the frequency response, the dynamic range also of your track, and if this is correct, all the rest doesn't really matter. And of course, you have things that you need to be aware of, especially the more instruments that play together, the more trouble you're gonna have. So this is why spreading between octaves and be aware of the positioning also is crucial at those type of stages. But down the line, really what you need to check, especially for this type of music, is the mono signal sort of coherent. If I put all my mix into mono, if I sum it into mono, is there things that are completely disappearing? And is there things that comes too much on the front or are too quiet in the back? If you really hear a huge difference, like instruments disappearing and stuff like that, you definitely need to check those elements. But if your mono signal got everything relative to the volume you gave and the position in the mix you prepared, I would say like it's if you can check this and get like check it in the terms like yeah it checks it works, it's gonna make a huge difference in the result. I think I like the fact that the first the start of the song, like the first drop, is so quiet and minimalistic. Let me check. Again, I'm talking and the mic is muted. Okay, so yeah, that yeah, try this arc. Like for example, take the last project you're working on. Just check if you're spreading everything on the octaves, and just do this if it's not the case, and you're gonna hear a massive difference in your mix. Like I can assure you, it's gonna change the song quite instantly. Yeah. My keyboard is not working all the time. Okay. So I just want to have this. I might mute it over there. I think those notes should be untouched. One. I think this one. I need to play with the volume a bit so it sort of come in, come out. This is not the right one. Yeah, this one. Still ringing? Oh no. Okay, this is the one. So what I want to do is to, let's say, automate this. It's gonna be quicker. Let's go there, mute it as soon as it's going, and then bringing it back here. We don't care. Okay. Did I forget something? What is this? Oh, this is the one. Okay. New, and then shut the fuck up over here, and then yeah, I think it keeps having this movement in the top, so we're gonna mute it. To emphasize this, I'm gonna bring this one back. I can probably punch it an octave up. I can also wait for the bass to come in so that it comes back over here. It's gonna be weird. That's very interesting. You say that those subs are deep. The funny thing about it is that it's not really actually. It's just mainly. I think I use the square for the sub part over there. So you have the fundamental, the third harmonic, and so on. But what I figured out through the years is like it's more. Like, for example, I'm not sure it would sound that deep if I cut this one. Like, if I cut the pad on top. It doesn't sound that warm and that deep to me. Again, just to me. But if I bring it back... sounds way deeper, and the reason is basically most of the time subs are just like 2 or 3 harmonics tops. It's like the fundamental, usually it's the 3rd and the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, harmonics. So you can even like for the sub part, you go with the first harmonic and the third harmonic, and you're good. The rest of the bass is gonna be done by something else to make it simple. But what I figured is that the warmth is actually coming more from like 200 to like 350 hertz. Between 150 and 350 is really where you're gonna find the warmth, but you have to be sort of cautious with this frequency because it can sound really muddy really fast. But I think the deepness and the warmth comes way more from this than just the sine, if that makes sense. So again, it's the same logic as for the different instruments and stuff. It's like yeah, the third, especially like if I maybe I can show you this. If I load vital again, okay. If we load the basic shapes, so if you go into this, I'm sure you know all of this already, but this is the harmonic section of it. So a sine wave is just, as I said before, one harmonic. So if I play, for example, and you may have to use like proper speakers, like not a phone, to hear this, because it's gonna be quite low. How the fuck do I already have a note there? Yeah, I don't have a note in there. So if I go to the note that is the reference for the track, so G sharp. So this is just a sine wave. So this is what the sub is gonna. Oh, you get it, phone. So cool. So this is just yeah. I should show the analyzer. Let's take vision, for example. Let's get this. I'm just gonna get the reference to be something like pink noise, for example, and yeah. So if I play this, I only have this note because I'm getting tired. I just have this harmonic, so it's basically one note in the spectrum, one harmonic, and there you are. So if you don't have a proper system or proper headphones, you might not hear this because this is a sub, so it's below most of the speaker range for phones and stuff like that. So in order to have the sub heard on many systems, what you want to do is add the third, and you can see it's going to change the wave shape, obviously. And now it's way more audible. See what I mean? And if I had another odd harmonic, still a bit more audible, etc., etc. And if I keep adding like this, you should, I'm gonna punch the volume a bit more. If I do the repartition a bit right, which I'm not doing at this point, so I'm gonna load the wave, it's gonna be easier. So if I go, for example, to a square wave, you can see this square wave is rounded. And as you can see, I have the first harmonic, the third harmonic, and the fifth harmonic. And this is the square wave. So interesting that it's the harmonics that are in direct octaves above the fundamental. Yeah, it's if you think about it, it's sort of a chord, you know? Like I could have my sine wave and just duplicate it an octave up. And yeah, of course, you're gonna hear it because the higher I duplicate this, the higher range it's gonna cover. And this is definitely a way to do basses. Most of the basses I did at the time was like this, were like this. But the way, for example, if I keep this and I saturate it, where is my distortion? Yeah. And I lost my spectrum. It's over there. You can see like my fundamental is over here, around my D sharp. And if I go there, I'm around a B. Yeah, something like that. And then I'm about a J and back to C sharp, D sharp, is it? Yeah. You don't have the octave before quite a while if I use saturation like this. And this is another topic, but it's basically odd harmonic, even harmonic, some distortion. are gonna emphasize the odd harmonic, and some are gonna go more into the even harmonics. You're gonna get different results with that, but the major thing to like keep in mind is that to have something that sounds fat in the sub range, for your sub, not in the sub range, but for your sub, the easier way is to use a square wave. For two reasons: because of the harmonic content, like I said, and the fact that if you think about the waveform as the movement that the speaker is doing, because this is exactly what it represents. This is 0, this is +1, and this is -1. And when the speakers are playing this wave, I think it's this way around, but this is pushing the speaker towards you, and this is bringing the speakers in the front. And this oscillation, the fact that it is happening really fast, is going to push the air and make it vibrate and create the notes and the sound you hear, basically. So you can see if I use a square wave, there is more time than the speaker is to extreme values than if I use, for example, a sine wave or even a triangle wave like this. It's gonna reach the maximum point only once here and once here. If I use a square wave, I'm at the maximum value over there and maximum value over there. So if I it's not really more on the harmonic subject now, but it's just because we are talking about subs, this is something I wanted to talk about quickly. If I, for example, bounce this in audio, post fader, yeah, for sure. And if I bounce sine wave, it's, oh yeah, no, my bad. Okay, let's do this again. I kept the distortion on. I was wondering why the shapes were so different. So if I bounce this, now I have the sine wave, and if I go there and take some square wave, even if it's rounded, and I bounce this, and we take a look at both of them. Let's group those, and let's find some volumeter like Yulin loudness. So the square wave is peaking at about 13 LUFS, And if I do the same with the sine wave, we are like 2 dB below. See what I mean? So if you want, if your goal is the loudness, and fortunately, if you want to be competitive today, you have to think about it. To make it, like, to summarize, but it's a bit, it's sort of a caricature of it. The more squarey your waveform is going to be, the more loud it's going to be, if that makes sense. But again, it's really another simplification of the process. But you want to hear an AB with the rest of the sound? What do you mean? Does the Vatal soft clipping boost all the harmonics or only the odds harmonics? As I said, it depends on the process. It really depends on the distortion and basically the how the distortion works. The sub plus the orchestration. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Because it's not gonna be well fitted in the mix. Let me mute this. But yeah, for obvious reason, it's not gonna fit in the mix. Let's use the sine wave first. Wait. I'm gonna loop this and cut the mics because the mic is ducking everything, so. Yeah, thank you for telling me. Yeah. Thank you for telling me this. I thought it was on again. So yeah, what I was saying is sometimes I'm just gonna use a sine wave for the sub and then another sine wave at the octave, a little quieter than the other one, because you want to sort of respect this repartition of volume, repartition of the volume of the frequencies, if that makes sense, just to keep it balanced. So sometimes I'm just gonna use this as a sub, and then the bass section, the bass instrument that is gonna be cut around 80 Hz is gonna complement the rest of the harmonics in this section. And when I go with something a bit more minimalistic and a bit more linear in the melodies I use, like for example, most of the drum and bass tracks and dubstep tracks are gonna be in one note key, and it's not gonna change key during the whole track. If you go with this type of music and you wanna really your sub to be fat in front and help boost the general loudness of your track, go with a smooth square wave, or filter a hard square wave, just because as you saw, like for the exact same volume of the synthesizer, just the fact of going from sine to square, you earn about 2 dBs LUFS of volume just by doing this. And like the amplitude of the signal is exactly the same. It's just making it louder. Yeah, that makes sense. You have to test this with a bass guitar. I do this in a lot with on the metal things I do. Also, a lot of like, I'm pretty sure a lot of music like Meshuggah and those metal stuff that are really like low in the spectrum, I'm pretty sure they double the bass guitar with the sine sub. Behind, because the bass is gonna end up playing around 60 Hz sometimes, and you want to recall what they're doing in the very low spectrum, like electronic music basically. So you want to use the sort of 30 to 50 Hz range. So generally, I'm pretty sure what they do is they double the bass with a sine wave at the octave below. For layering with the bass guitar, I would go with the sine, just because it has less harmonics. It's gonna conflict less in the upper range, like 60 to 150 Hertz, even lower than 150 Hertz actually. But it's just here to double the bass guitar, not to take to hit the like E80 to hit the bass guitar. So it's here to reinforce it, not to replace it. So you want to keep the bass guitar playing its range, and then double with only one harmonic below, because the bass guitar has all the other ones, if that makes sense. Like if I show you on the analyzer, let's say your bass guitar is gonna end around here, like the lowest note it's gonna play, it's around here. It's not covering this part of the spectrum, so you want exactly what I have here. I mean, one peak doubling the notes that is played by the bass guitar. And what is really important is gonna be the repartition volume-wise between the two, so that it sounds balanced. And yeah, make sense? What do you mean the second harmonic is stronger than the first? It's more audible, but like, see, like what I was talking before, if you open Vital and you take, for example, the square wave and you see the harmonic repartition of it, you see that there is this sort of sweep down for the bass guitar. Yeah. The bass guitar is gonna end up a bit more. Yeah. And it's also something really interesting you can do for your basses. If I mute this, for example, you can go let's take the easiest, so sine wave. Now I'm gonna go with for example sawtooth over there and another sawtooth over there. If I'm not mistaken, I should be able to edit this. Yeah. So what I want to do is the first harmonic is going to be played by... it's the first, right? I'm on the first. Wait. Some harmonic appeared. Okay, no. The first is going here. You can go 0.5 basically. Okay. So the first harmonic is going to be played by the sine, so I want this sawtooth to not play the first harmonic, which is over there. It's just going to play, for example, the second and the third, and then everything below is going to be deleted. And if I take the third one, and I edit this, so the first, second, and the third are already taken, so now this is gonna cover the rest of it. So basically it's just gonna, if I take my analyzer, I just dividing, I'm just helping the repartition between the three oscillators. So where is the note I had? Okay, it's okay, I'm gonna do it again. So over here, if I go there, and I play, for example, a D, yeah. If I mute each of them, now I have, so first harmonic, this is picking something else here, I don't know why. Oh yeah, because of the processing I have on the master bus, but like, as I said, never mind about it. So I have this one playing this part of the spectrum, and then I have this one playing the rest of the information. So by doing so, what I can do is just, instead of EQing, filtering and stuff like that, which might or might not play with your phase, so you may want to you can have different effects by doing so. Like for example, I can now basically start to make some sort of a reese, but it's just if I go there, the cancellation is just gonna, and the movement especially, is just gonna appear on the higher part of the spectrum. The sub is gonna stay consistent. And if you already like played with reese basses and stuff like that, you know that most of the time the phase cancellation is gonna create this movement in the lower range. This might be what you're looking for, but if it's not and you want really to have the sub really consistent, you can just separate like this. Now, for example, I can just send the third one inside the filter, and it seems like this one is playing it's playing a bit more than it should. I think I forgot to delete something. Clear, right? Yeah, some of the harmonics I forgot, so this is what we had this sort of a high-pitched noise. And what you can do now in Viral is just keep the sub out, so we don't affect it. And we use the second and third harmonic of this one and the rest of this one to basically make the distortion react. Yeah, it's gonna allow you to have more control over the different part of the signal. Like if I want now, I can grab an LFO and play with the, let's say, the volume of the second and third, and then I can have another LFO that's gonna affect only the upper part. So see what I mean? It opens like a lot of possibilities that you wouldn't have if you just treat everything as one block. Like for example, just you can have fun and like go with some like for example this one, and just say just be aware that, oh yeah, that's the issue I have. If you know how to fix this, sometimes I just cannot edit anything. I don't know why. I can edit the harmonic, but never mind. If you just think about cancelling like the first harmonic, if you have a sub underneath, you know that they won't be conflicting with each other, and it gives you way more control over the whole thing. Again, it's a lousy example. You see what I mean? I hope. Do you recommend setting the unison to 16 and then detune the percentage for synths, or is it that not recommended for a reason like phase issue? If you play with unison, you're gonna play with phase for sure. Not saying it's a bad thing, just saying like it's gonna happen just because of the fact that as a chorus you're gonna duplicate the voice, and then basically what the unison is doing, for those who don't know, it's duplicating like the chorus, the voices. Like for example on this I have 4 voices, and it's gonna detune, so move the pitch a bit down and bit up for each of the voices. So phase cancellation is going to happen because you have the same waveform that is gonna play at different speeds. So at some point in time, it's gonna do its thing, and yeah. What I would recommend though is don't go to 16 right at the top. Sometimes you just want to have really think about it as duplicating your oscillator. So sometimes you might just want to, especially if you want to create phase cancellation, like for a bass or something. Let's go back there. Basically, if you put the percentage at 0, you're not detuning anything. So the only thing you're gonna do is just add more voices on top of the other, but they are playing exactly the same thing. So the only thing you're gonna do is boost the volume. That's it. So if you, like for example, you see like right now I don't have any movement. I can increase the number. I'm just adding and adding and adding and adding again voices. So now the distortion is gonna push it to react, of course, because it's louder. But the real thing about unison is detuning each and every voices. So depending on what you do, that's more a Vital specific question. Not really, because this feature is in many hardware synthesizer and many software synthesizer also. So it's actually something pretty common. What I would, depending on what you want to do, if you want to do for example basses, I think the most important thing is, if you play with the unison, start with like not so many, because you want to keep it quite consistent, but turn the phase randomization off and make your phase so I don't know if you know this, but the phase is from 0 to 360, and basically what it's going to do, it's going to choose the position, it's going to start playing the waveform when the note is pressed. So if I put my phase to 0, it's going to start over there. If I put my phase to 180, it's going to start over here, and 360 is going to start over here, basically. And yeah, if you want to really utilize this sort of cancellation for wrist basses and stuff, be sure your unison is stereo is turning all the way down, so that the unison doesn't spread the voices. For example, on the, if I have 3 voices now and I keep the stereo unison 100, I'm gonna have one voice on the left, one voice on the center, and one voice on the right. So I want to sum those in the middle, so the phase cancellation happens more consistently in the middle, and then use, for example, some distortion and compression to squash it. So yeah, I don't know if that helped or anything. Why do I start my phase from 0 instead of 180? It's because I'm a bit autistic sometimes. And for example, on the sine wave, I'd rather have my cycle go up and then down, and keep this rule for all of my waveforms after that, especially if they are close to it. Those are going to be less relevant, but I think you should pick either 0 or 180, because if you start, for example, here, when it's not crossing, like this line is not crossing the 0. If you start, for example, at, let's say this is 0, this is 1. If I start at 0.1, it's going to create some clicking sound, and it's going to be way tougher for the speakers to translate that, because what you're going to do is basically ask the speaker to start at a position that is not natural for it. So if I go there, the speaker here, it is at rest, it is at 0. And when it's gonna oscillate, it's gonna go +1 and then back to 0, and then -1. This is what you can see on the sine wave over here. So by asking the speaker to start at its 0 position, it's natural for it. If you ask it to start at this position, this is why you're gonna get some clicks and some pops and some stuff like that, because you ask something that is quite physically unrealistic to your speaker. It's like what it's easy for it to do is like oscillate like this, not oscillate like this, if that makes sense. So if your starting point is at either 0 or, I mean, the 0 is the best, is the best you can do. Because if you ask your speaker to go from nothing to 1, you're gonna have a click, and it's gonna be quite intense on the speaker membrane. Membrane? Yeah? Is that the right word? I'm pretty sure I can actually. I don't want to fuck up your speakers, but let's say we put the attack at 0. Let's go like I'm gonna. No, let's keep the sine wave. I'm just gonna boost the volume so you can hear. And I'm gonna cut my mic, because it's ducking the bitwig. So just hear the difference between when I start the playing the note at 0 and then at some position other than 0 that is basically asking the membrane to jump to another state quite immediately. So you're gonna hear some clicks. I might have some stuff to avoid this on my master bus, but still, this is with a good start, and then I'm gonna switch. You're gonna see. Did you hear the click? Yeah. And this is because, as I said, you are asking your speaker to start at a position, to jump directly to a position that is not that is not its original position, if that makes sense. So in order for it to go to this position, it's gonna jump to something, so it's gonna create this click. This is why I think I always go with 0, just because from default it's 180, I think it is. Yeah, so it's starting over there. So you are basically at a 0 point. So it's all good. It's not going to be the case for every wavetable you're gonna have loaded. So most of the wavetable have the extremes. Like the 0 point and the 360 point crossing 0. So by making the phase 0, I know I have a higher chance to have a clean sound, if that makes sense. Because you see, even there, I cannot really tell if this is crossing the line at 0 at 180, but I can really tell that the 0 point is at the 0 crossing point. Same for the 360 point. See what I mean? Even if I sweep this, you can see over here, I think it might be jumping, yeah, something here. Maybe it's not exactly 0. Yeah, this is definitely not 0. This is why I wouldn't start the waveform at this position, but if I do some sort of modulation like this, it's alright. The most important thing is not to start at some position that is not 0 in your wavetable. Yeah. And I'm realizing it's gonna be like 4 hours, so it's already 8 o'clock, so I might go cook dinner and stuff like this. Because, yeah, I think Julie is waiting upstairs for us to eat. So, yeah. I know it was quite... I didn't do that much music side. It was more of a Q&A. But, yeah, I hope that was helpful. I'm pretty sure we lost a lot of people talking about this. It's alright though. You're welcome, Atrox. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry if I was more into technical stuff like this instead of making music. But yeah, you can blame Arc Forest for that. Have a great handmade noodles, man. Bon appétit tout le monde. And yeah, see you all on Tuesday. And oh, Misha! I see you all on Tuesday, and yeah, take good care. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here, and see you all guys soon. Bye bye.